Thank you very much, Bernardo. The concept of the smart city is particularly interesting, and I think we are going to get a better or more technical definition of what that actually means. And also the whole idea of creating alternative spaces that Bernardo was talking about outside the realm of traditional politics. And how do we actually implement or turn it into something rather practical? We are going to talk to, or we are going to rather have Martin Gegner talk to us about this issue. He studied political science in Berlin, Germany, has a doctorate in sociology. He also worked as a researcher and lecturer in different scientific institutions, and he spent 4 years in Sao Paulo. That's where Bernardo comes from, so there is an interesting overlap there. He's going to talk to us about the concept of smart cities, and if he could also, if possible, address the issue of looking beyond spaces for political creation, but rather can they create other meanings as well, and can they actually tell us something about society, only if possible. All right, so welcome.
Thank you very much. It's a challenge to be the last speaker of this panel of following 4 such tremendous, profound lectures. Well, the least thing I could do is trying to not make you wait too long for the coffee. And I also will try to address these questions you raised at last. I will talk on an actually quite popular nexus of the notions networks, cities, citizenship, and micropolitics, so the subline of this panel. And I entitled my presentation, Smart City, Market for Smart Companies, or Home for Smart Citizens. At the moment, many people talk about the smart city. The European Union is trying to turn European cities smart with its program Horizon 2020. Research institutes in the topic are being founded. The media is reporting almost daily, and each month a book is published, while the industry promises that the smart city will be reality tomorrow, if not today. So is it just another hype that replaces the creative city, which has been in public and in science for the last decade? First of all, start with a definition. What is meant by the term smart city? In a very, very reduced definition, we could say smart cities are cities that use new digital technology for a resource-preserving, sustainable, and future-oriented city policy. In other words, cities use big data networks applications for an efficient steering of such public or formerly public services like mobility, energy, environment, safety, health, and administration. The instrumentalist character of most existing smart city concepts is not neglected within them, but rather emphasized. Well, to pursue a more thrifty, ecologically, economically, and probably also socially sustainable city is not condemnable at all. To the contrary, we all wish to breathe clean air, drink tap water of good quality, and move safely in fluent, pleasant, non-pollutive forms of transport through our cities day and night. The important question is it smart technology that moves the cities in this direction? Or is it not rather the people who have to be smart to reach this aim? Critics of the concept, like the American Adam Greenfield, argue that technological aspects of the smart cities are used, first of all, to maintain social segregation and exclusion. With the example of Rio de Janeiro's Operations Center, that was implemented in 2010 by IBM at a relatively low cost, and that integrates the data of 30 municipal units like fire departments and police stations. Greenfield explains that actual smart city projects, especially in developing countries, are mainly driven by technologies that simulate safety and that simulate activity of the municipality. Let's stick a bit together, to the example of Rio. There, the central analysis of data from surveillance cameras and metro trains, buses, and public spaces aims to prevent crime in the city. The parameters of the analyzing software reacts, for example, if larger groups of young black males are moving from the poor north to the city center, to the south zone, where all touristic points of interest are located and where also the Olympic Games 2016 will take place. And you understood right, the selectors in the software are programmed based on racist assumptions. This is nothing very extraordinary. In London they do the same thing. But nevertheless, the city of Rio regularly witnesses the malfunctioning of the system. At Copacabana and Ipanema beaches, almost every month, so-called arrastões take place. That is, a dozen or more armed troops rush through the beach alongside and rob the buses. When the police shows up, the crooks have disappeared. Obviously, the operation center has failed. There are also different kinds of dangers on which the system does not react in an appropriate way. During the rain period, for example, usually landslides go down in the mountainous favela regions of Rio de Janeiro and cause dozens of deaths each year. The operations center only reacts on catastrophic incidents, but is not integrating a risk preparation management for the favela areas, which technically would be feasible. So, is the smart city only something for the rich? At the moment, it seems so. Probably you're not surprised that mobility, environmental protection, water resource management in Rio have not improved with the operation centers. At present, that's sort of assumption. At present, the smart city is a concept of the big IT companies. The new guard consisting of Google, Apple, and Facebook, as well as the old boys, Siemens, Cisco, and IBM, do have their premium showcases distributed around the world. We had the example of Rio. There are other examples like New Songdo City in South Korea or Master City in the United Arab Emirates, which is run by Siemens. In the face of empty coffers, municipalities in the whole world court the IT companies. Every city wants to become a smart city. Also, cities in the rich countries are poor and often over-indebted. And believe it or not, the best example of this is the German capital, Berlin. Since 2 decades, the city's municipality is on the edge of bankruptcy. So, using public-private partnerships, the administrations of cities aim to outsource the technological aspects of sustainable development to the big companies. And those offer some of their flagship projects in hip cities with worldwide reputations, as seen in Rio, for less money or even sometimes free of charge. Apart from the engagement of the companies that is still driven by an access to market strategy, national governments, the European Union, and other supranational organizations are funding such projects. Currently, smart city is the new big thing in business. We all know that the IT companies are not acting out of altruism. Ultimately, they want to sell their systems, and their perspective is that of a large-scale profit. The smart city is a strategic key account within all big IT multinationals, and they want the data connected to the project. As you know, data is the goal of the information society, the goal of the information age. So the problems arise if municipalities outsource projects of city development and they also deliver the required and available data connected to the projects. In general, they do so without consulting their citizens themselves. So, is there going to be realized a vision that science fiction movies like Brazil, Blade Runner, Matrix, Minority Report denounced as a technocratic project of a small elite consisting of big multinational firms and overburdened or unscrupulous city bureaucrats, which undermines civil rights, secures existing social dominance, and generates gigantic profits? Is it this vision that's going to be realized? Or is there another vision possible in which smart people not only decide about sustainable city development, but actually practice it in daily action? And I started with a question. The whole speech was entitled with a question, so I will conclude now with some questions I'd like to discuss with you. Which are the preconditions for this second vision to become reality? Which competences and data have to remain in the public hand, which can be outsourced to the companies? Who is evaluating the success or failure of smart city projects, and how? Or do we need the smart city at all? Or do we need more old school planning or more citizens' participation in urban development? Or can we connect the latter with smart city projects? Yes, these are the questions I would like to discuss with you. Thank you very much.